ready for a rally? Are you ready to get out and vote? Are you ready to win an election? My name is Adam Dickey, and I have the pleasure to serve you as the 9th District Democratic Party Chair. It is my privilege this morning to be your host for this event and welcome you to the 9th District, Clark County, and the city of Jeffersonville. You know, speaking of Jeffersonville and southern Indiana, just 1 year ago, we saw some critical election results in our local communities. Citizens in Jeffersonville, Clarksville, Charlestown, New Albany, Scottsburg, Austin, and many other communities turned to Democrats to lead their municipal governments. But that was the last election, and we are faced with another critical choice in this election. Up and down the ticket, we have fabulous candidates offering their leadership to our communities. They are friends and neighbors, the folks that we often turn to in business and to lead our nonprofits. They volunteer in our community. They are educated, they are experienced, and ready to help lead our community on day one. Most importantly, they have integrity to serve the public good over themselves. Several of these individuals are here with us today. We're going to hear from a few of them, but I want to recognize some of the local folks who are with us who are running. From Floyd County, we have Ellen Morrison Kelly running for county council right down there. From Clark County, running for judge is Dustin White. We also have another judge from Clark County, Andrea Stemley. We have Chris Glom from Harrison County running for clerk. We have Jim Brewer running for Clark County Council. We have Christina Gilkey running for Clark County Council. We have Laura Williamson running for County Commissioner. And we have Katie Morgan also running for Clark County Commissioner. And I can't remember, did I already call out Tim Harbison? I didn't call out my friend, my buddy Tim Harbison running for Floyd County Commissioner. Now, Heidi, am I forgetting anyone else?
I hope not, but maybe.
Sarah Blessing running for state representative in District 70. That's right. All right. Well, we're fired up, but this is serious business. We need serious candidates to do the work. We need serious volunteers to make the outreach in these closing days. That's why we're here. It's about getting people out to vote. It's about letting our voice be heard. But you didn't come here to hear that from me. You came here to hear that from the inspirational leaders who are moving this community forward. And we're going to bring those leaders to you right now. Because here in a minute, we're going to leave this place and we're going to go out into the community. But we want to make sure that you know what we're fighting for. So with that being said, let's get this show started. It's my privilege to introduce our first speaker, a woman who's fighting for rural America, for rural Indiana, a person that is out there who cares about her constituents, Jennifer David for State Representative in District 66.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. Thank you everyone for coming out here. This is awesome. Give yourself a round of applause. My name is Jennifer David, and I am running for state representative for District 66, and I am so glad to be here. First of all, I want to start by thanking Governor Beshear and his people for coming here at some point this morning. We are so lucky to have such great neighbors across the river, and we're excited to have them come here and work with us as partners to help us flip Indiana blue. Again, my name's Jennifer David, and I'm running for state rep for District 66. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a business owner, and I am a wife of a very proud Puerto Rican American. I'm running for state rep because I feel that the decisions that are being made at the State House, they do not reflect the common sense Hoosier values that we have here in Southern Indiana. And so what we need to do is we need to get some good Democrats out there at the state, and we need to elect the McCormick-Gooden ticket as well. One of the main reasons that I am running is I'm an advocate for people with disabilities, and I am so appalled at what has been going on in the state of Indiana. Not only with our schools, but also with our health care and support services of the state, the Republican majority continues to strip things away from the people that most need it in our state, and that has to stop. So what I need you to do to make that happen is when we are done here, if you have not voted, go down to the courthouse, walk down, drive down. I think we might have some drivers that are willing to help people get out there. If you have already voted, then you need to get a friend, a neighbor, your family members. Make sure that they vote. Talk to people. Make phone calls. Volunteer to drive people to the polls. Whatever you do, get out there and vote and get other people to do it. Because what happens when Democrats vote? What happens? We win, right? We win. So I just want to take a moment to thank, again, all of you for coming, the people in my party that have been working so hard. We have just worked ourselves to the bone. And so hopefully this hard work is going to pay off. My name, again, is Jennifer David, running for state rep for District 66. You can find information about me at jendavid4hoosiers.com.
Welcome, everyone. Right. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for Jeff PD for making us safe and keeping us here. We appreciate our first responders, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Angie Fenton. She's here with our wonderful daughter, Olive. They share the same birthday. That is January 20th. That is also Inauguration Day. We've got another one here, right? What's special about that day this next year is that they will be able to look at that screen and see a female sworn into office that looks like them. That'll be the first time in the history. 5 years ago, across the river in Kentucky, they turned a supposedly red state blue with electing Governor Beshear to office. They did it again last year. We're going to do it in Indiana this year. Up and down the ballot, we have candidates that support women's rights, support our unions, and we also support our greatest asset in America, which is our free, quality, public education. We need everybody to get out. We need everybody to go out. We've got to grab a friend. We've got to grab a neighbor. We can do this year. We have the talent on the ballot. Thank you all very much for being here. My name is Jason Applegate. I'm running for District 72, the State House. It's majority of Floyd County. I appreciate your vote. Get out and do it for the rest of us. I want to welcome to the stage the representative for this area, District 71, Wendy Dant Chesser.
Welcome to beautiful District 71. How many of you are excited about this?
Yes! What a beautiful opportunity to celebrate democracy in America. And in Clark County specifically, we've needed a reason to celebrate. We know there are people who have taken advantage. We know there are people who are distancing themselves instead of going out and talking to the voters, talking to the people that we want to represent. I hope to be your representative today and in the future. And in doing so, I pledge to you, my door will be open, my phone will be answered, and we will make sure that the needs of the people of Indiana are the ones that are being spoken for in the State House. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. I was out at the county building yesterday. People were standing in line for up to 90 minutes to vote early. They are excited, they're motivated, and they want to see things better in Southern Indiana. Thank you for coming out. For those of you who have supported me, I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And now it's my opportunity to turn it over to your next speaker, the awesome Dr. Tim Peck, our next congressperson from District 9.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Tim Peck. I'm running for U.S. Congress right here in Indiana 9. And I'm running for all of you who feel unseen, who feel unheard, who feel like they're not being represented by this most divisive government in Indiana 9 that we've had. I want to tell you a story. After Harris was announced by Biden that she'd be the nominee, my wife and I went into the nursery with my 2-year-old, and she went into the crib, and she put him on her lap, and she looked in his eyes. I was sitting on the rocker watching, and the first thing she said when he woke up was, "Can you say Madam President?" And so I say, can you say Madam President? Can you say Madam Governor? Madam AG? Madam Senator? Madam State Rep, and Madam State Rep, and Madam State Rep, and Madam State Rep. I'm an emergency doctor. I live up here in Clark County in New Wash on a 40-acre farm with my family. And as an emergency doctor, I've treated a lot of women who've been raped. I've treated girls who've been raped. I've treated women who would have died unless I treated them with an abortion. And never once when giving my counsel did I ever think about what the government had to say. The government does not belong in my exam room. We're going to win this. I'm out there every day. I was out in front of the courthouse with Wendy yesterday, the day before that, the day before that. And people are coming in angry about what's going on here with Jamie Knoll and everyone who's touched that man and touched his money, including my opponent, Aaron Ouchin. And we're going to remove them from the ticket, we're going to remove them from government, and we're going to take over, and we're going to make Indiana 9 blue again. After this, I'm going to get in that bus over there. I don't know if you can see it. It might say Peck. And we're going to go down to the courthouse and vote. So join us. I'd like to introduce you to the next Attorney General of Indiana and a badass. Her name, Destiny Wells. And Cass Peck.
Good morning. My name is Destiny Wells, and I'm going to be your next Indiana Attorney General. I get to wear two hats in life, and it makes me feel very privileged and I'm very honored to be carrying the torch as a citizen soldier, to be able to represent the interests of the country while also being here in the trenches in Indiana and making sure that we are always moving forward. And we will be moving forward when we toss Todd Rokita out of office. When we toss him out of our doctors' offices, when we toss him out of our classrooms, and when we once and for all toss him out of the State House. Nobody has a monopoly on patriotism. It is ours as Democrats, and we are ready to stand up and make sure that everyone knows that Indiana is common sense. They are pragmatic, and like I like to say, they're a purple state, not a red state anymore. It is my honor to now introduce one of Southern Indiana's own, the former First Lady, Judy O'Bannon.
Now, I tell you, what can be much better? A Saturday in the sun in the autumn in Southern Indiana. And we're here with a whole bunch of go-get-em Democrats. It doesn't get any better than that. For so many years, you've just been hanging in there, and we've looked at the resources around there and said, Indiana's a really good place to live. We've got water, we've got safety, we have beautiful hills, we have flatlands that grow anything. We have a lot of resources, but our best resources are standing behind me right now. That's people. They've dedicated their lives to caring about where they live, how their neighbors get along, what they're provided with. They've taken care of educational and agricultural and business and climate affairs. They are our real resources. They took offices, they studied, they learned, and they figured out what we need. They realized that our school systems, our public schools, have been the core of what made the United States unique and free. You don't just go to school to memorize what some other guy thought was the doctrine of the day. You look at all the options and all the opportunities and all the experiences, and you mull it around in your mind and with your own present day situation, and you figure out how to get out of a mess, how to develop something good, and you figure out where lies the future. It's called decision making. If we're in a representative form of democracy, it's all about how do we handle our freedom? How do we handle where we go on a worship experience, who we love and who we live with, and yes, what we do with our own bodies. The people standing up here with me today know the answers to those questions, and they're certainly ready to serve. They've been in agricultural. Terry Gooden worked for the federal government in our farms. He knows about them. He was a teacher. Jennifer McCormick, she was the head of education. She knows what our schools need. And you've heard with your very own ears those folks running for the State House in Indiana, and they are a quality flock. We realize our big cities have got to flourish, but they can't flourish with weak little communities around them. Our small towns like we have in Southern Indiana need help, and they know how to bring it here and how to distribute services to people. 20 years as one-party control is no longer going to work. We live in a time with big change, and big new opportunities and big new problems. And we don't need old answers. We need new leadership who understand what we're talking about. And so I want to thank you so much for caring. It's easy to go when everybody's banging the drum in the right direction for you. But we're in times where we've been in the minority. And you stuck your neck out, and you brought your ideas and your oomph to the table. And we're going to take them over in just a few days. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Robin Winston. I was the former chairman of the Indiana Democratic Party when we won the governor's race, and I'm here to tell you we can win the governor's race again. We can win this thing again. For our friends in the media, I have never seen a more powerful grassroots organization. It's cold. I understand the other party had a dog, a cat, and a bird the last time they had a rally here. But look how many people we have here today. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. So, when we won the governor's office, we won in part because we carried parts of southern Indiana. And it was crucial for us to do that. Isn't it going to be nice to have a lieutenant governor that knows that Nab and Otisco are places in Clark County? With that, I want to introduce to you a man who does not need a map, does not need GPS to figure out how to get around here. The next lieutenant governor of the state of Indiana, Terry Gooden.
All right. Hey, good morning, Clark County. And I want to make sure I get all the proper thank yous in here today. And how about that Judy O'Bannon, huh? Yeah. So, hey, folks, thank you all for being here. And thank you, folks, for help putting this event together. These things don't just happen with the genie where you snap your finger and they come and set it all up. It was a lot of hard work getting it together. And thank you, folks, for getting up on a Saturday morning to be here to cheer and yell and let folks know that the Democrats are going to prevail in Clark County, Indiana. So folks, as Judy O'Bannon said, and as Robin Winston, my good friend who introduced me, said, I'm Terry Gooden. I'm the Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor, and I love southern Indiana. Hey, so, folks, let me say this. Elections are about the future, and that future should include all Hoosiers. And I'm telling you, folks, right now, today, that with Jennifer McCormick as governor and Terry Gooden as lieutenant governor, every single Hoosier in the state of Indiana will be treated with dignity and with respect. Now, folks, these rallies are important, okay? They're very important in the big crowd that is here. I'll tell you how important this rally is. I'm getting some feedback somewhere. Make sure this thing's not on. Maybe push back a little bit. Wait, step over this way a little bit. The sunshine, right? All right. So, elections we know are about the future. And folks, let me tell you this, these rallies are important. As a matter of fact, my son Burley is here with me today, and Brown is here with me today as well, my wife. And let me say this, folks, basketball is important in Indiana, right? Hey, these guys missed their basketball game to be here today, all right? So folks, as I travel the state of Indiana and I talk to Hoosiers, they say this. They say, Terry, we don't need a whole lot. All we want is this. We just want the opportunity to get a good job, a good union job, right? So we can raise our families with dignity and our children can have a brighter future than what we had. We don't want our public officials to embarrass us in front of the world, and we want our elected officials to follow the same rules, guidelines, and laws that all other Hoosiers follow. Folks, as Judy said up here earlier, 20 years of one-party rule has put Indiana at a disadvantage. We have low pay. And all the pundits and all the magazines and all the news articles say that Indiana is one of the worst states in the nation for quality of life. But now I don't have to repeat all the troubles that our state is facing. And folks, let me tell you this. The Republicans are sole authors of all this despair. They've been in charge for 20 years. The folks, the troubles that we're facing today are all a result of their policies that were passed at the State House. Now, I'm going to say this as well. I am sick and tired of high prices, and Hoosier Republicans have done nothing to help Hoosier consumers in the state of Indiana to stop the high prices we're facing today. I'm telling you that Jennifer McCormick and Terry Good and the administration we put together will fight to lower all these prices on the things that we need and use every single day, folks. And yes, Indiana has troubles, but let me say this. I'm going to bring back and I'm going to echo the words of my mentor, Frank O'Bannon. I'm going to echo the words of my good friend, Robin Winston, and say this. There's nothing wrong with Indiana that's what's right with Indiana can't fix. Now, we're going to start that by stopping the attack on Hoosier women. And you can bet your bottom dollar that 2 school superintendents will do everything they can and fight to save the greatest American invention of all times, the free public education. We will work to make sure our large corporations pay a living wage. Folks, let me tell you this. Hoosier workers are worth more than $7.25 an hour. And grandparents and parents, listen up. We will stop the number one export out of our state, and that's our young adults. We're going to create opportunities so our young adults can stay in Indiana and prosper and succeed. Finally, folks, finally, we have all heard of the terrible policies our opponents are pushing in this so-called Project 2025. Exactly. I'm telling you, folks, it's bad stuff. It's full of arrogance and it's full of corruption. But I'm telling you this, folks, the Democrats have our own little project, and that project's called Election 2024. And in Election 2024, the blue wave will wipe out the arrogance and the corruptions, and the Democrat will win office across the state of Indiana. Every single office in the state of Indiana, folks, will turn blue. Now, I am proud to be able to introduce our next speaker. He needs no introduction, and I'm not quite finished yet, but I'm going to build up to this. Robin said I had 2.5 hours. I don't know what he meant by that, but I'm going to say this. You can tell by my accent that I've got a little bit of Kentucky blood in me, right? So I'm proud to be able to have the governor come up. But let me say this. Let me say this in closing, folks. Here is the skinny on the Democrat project of Election 2024. Jennifer McCormick and Terry Gooden believe that Indiana's better days are ahead of her. We will move Indiana forward and not backward. We will lift Indiana up and not let her down. I'm telling you right now that Jennifer McCormick will put the rock in the roll and the heavy in the metal, and we will make sure, absolutely, we'll bring home a classic victory. And folks, let me tell you something. The rap is this. Republicans will wake up Wednesday morning singing the blues. Absolutely. Now, without any further ado, I am proud to be able to introduce the man from Kentucky who put the mac and the cheese and the hamburger and the helper, right? Hey, Andy Beshear, the next governor, or the current governor of the great state of Indiana. Thank you for being here, folks. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hold on.
How about your next Lieutenant Governor, Terry Gooden? Is it time for a Lieutenant Governor from Southern Indiana? Folks, my name's Andy Beshear, and if you don't know me, I'm the guy that beat Mitch McConnell's hand-picked candidate last November. If you don't know me, I'm the guy that beat Donald Trump's hand-picked candidate last November. And together with all of you, I'm going to help Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump this November. And we are going to elect a Democratic governor here in the state of Indiana. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Folks, I am a proud pro-public education governor. I'm a proud pro-union governor. I'm a proud pro-choice governor. I'm a proud pro-diversity governor. And I'm a proud pro-Jennifer McCormick for governor. Folks, I'm here because our elections matter. Who you elect matters. When you have leaders doing the right things, you see results that help the lives of all Americans. I like to say that while I run as a proud Democrat, the moment I win, I take that hat off and I serve every single citizen in the Commonwealth. That is not what we see from our current Republican Party, but that's what you're going to see from Jennifer McCormick as your next governor. I like to think that most folks every day when they wake up, they're not thinking about the next election. They're thinking about their job and whether they make enough to support their family. They're thinking about the roads and bridges they drive that day. They're thinking about the next healthcare appointment, doctor's appointment for themselves, their parents, or their kids. They're thinking about the public school they drop their kids off at. Let's thank all our public school educators. And they're thinking about public safety in their communities. On each and every one of these, Jennifer McCormick is right and her opponent is wrong. You look at what's happening in Kentucky right now, the attack on public education, which is happening in Indiana too. Across the river on Tuesday, we are going to defeat Amendment 2, and you're going to stand up for public education in Indiana as well. You listen to your lieutenant governor candidate and to Jennifer, and they are talking about better lives for all the citizens of Indiana, about not moving the state to the right or the left, but moving it forward for all of our people. Folks, we need leaders that know we've got to get beyond this constant us versus them, that we are not each other's enemies. To me, it's my faith in that golden rule that says we love our neighbor as ourself, and that parable, the Good Samaritan, that says everyone is our neighbor. It takes the right leaders. It's going to take Kamala Harris winning this presidency. And it's going to take the McCormick Gooden ticket winning this governor and lieutenant governor's race to get us to that better place. You deserve to be able to get up in the morning and not say, what the heck happened last night? You deserve to be able to put your kids in front of the TV and not worry about the words that are going to come out of their president or their governor's mouth. You deserve a country that reminds us that we are all Americans first and everything else second, third, or fourth. It is time that we bring our country back together and we move it forward for every single citizen of the United States of America. I believe in this country. Yes, we're not perfect. Yes, we've made mistakes in the past, but the United States of America is already great, and we are going to make sure we continue to move it in the right direction for all of our people. And let me tell you, I know what you're going to get when you elect Jennifer McCormick, because I see what we get from Democratic governors all over the United States. Across the river, it's been breaking every single economic development record in the books, from private sector investment to new jobs to new wages, breaking the export record, record low recidivism, and folks, for us, and I know you're moving in the same direction, drug overdose deaths have gone down for 2 straight years, thank God. With Democratic governors, our workers are treated better. In Kentucky, union membership has gone up 2 straight years. We're building some of the largest manufacturing facilities on planet Earth, and they're all being built with union labor. Let's thank all of our union members. And I can't wait to have a partner right across those bridges, where we know that when we put a good facility here or over in Louisville or that area, that it benefits all of us. I look forward to having somebody that I can work together with to make sure we are bettering the lives of all of our people, because while my job is to fight as hard as I can for Kentucky. I'm an American, and I believe we should be creating jobs for every single American citizen and bettering their lives. And we are going to win this governor's race in Indiana this year. The way we do it is with hard work closing out. So let me ask you, are you ready to do that work? Are you ready to knock some doors? Are you ready to make the phone calls? Are you ready to defeat Donald Trump? Are you ready to elect Kamala Harris? Then I need your help in electing your next governor of Indiana, Jennifer McCormick.
Let's go! Let's go! Governor Beshear, give it up! I know we have Hoosiers here that want to adopt him, so Governor, we may be asking for that eventually. He's amazing. Also, give it up for First Lady Judy O'Bannon. I am Jennifer McCormick, and I will be your next governor. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to give a couple thank yous. Adam Dickey, amazing job from Adam Dickey. For all of you who came here this morning, look at this crowd. Look around. This is what it means to know what is at stake. Also, I know we have David Green in the house from the UAW. Let's give it up. Brett Voorhees, AFL-CIO. This is a monumental election. And I know you wouldn't be here if you didn't understand what that meant. Who is ready to elect the first female president of the United States? And who is ready to elect the first female governor of the state of Indiana? Let's go. Let's go. You know, we have been reminded too often that we take things for granted. And we've also been reminded of how much it takes not to turn back. It is not hard. It's hard work. We know when we fight, we win. When we vote, we win. When we show up, we win. When we stand up, we win. Because we deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve better. It is not difficult. It is just hard work. We also know, too, we deserve a governor who, when rights are being taken away from women, that will stand up and say, not on my watch, not on my watch. It is time we have a governor who will also fight for affordable access for health care for everybody, because everybody deserves that in the state of Indiana. It is time we have a governor who will fight for our kids. And Terry and I have been committed to kids our entire career. And we will fight for kids, and we will fight for public education, and we will fight for our educators. Let's go. It is also time that we fight for our wages. We are 47th in the nation in annual wage growth. And friends, we deserve better than that. We must uplift our unions instead of trying to destroy them. This is our time. And no one is going to take away our votes. But the only way to make sure that happens is to vote. And I know many of you, how many of you have early voted? Look at that. Look at that. Your charge now is to get on your Rolodex, which is called a cell phone. And you go through it and you get your family and your friends, and you remind them of what is at stake, and you tell them about every candidate you just heard today. You make sure you let them know what is at stake. I see Keith Gamble from the ISTA. Teachers, we have a swell of grassroots participation right now, particularly just a huge support from our teachers who are making those calls, who are knocking on those doors, who are doing everything possible, but we need your help. We have 3
days left. 3 days. Governor Beshear has shown us in a red state what it's like to have a governor who will stand up for women, who will stand up for kids, who will stand up for unions, and who is proud to say that economic development is stronger when we are diverse and we are inclusive. We deserve that here in Indiana. We deserve that. How many here refuse to turn Indiana over to extremism? Who's with me? We are not going to sit still while extremism comes in. We've heard it all. I've been called Jezebel spirit. I know supposedly I'm against gas stoves for whatever reason. We know that they have said they're firing every state employee, particularly those who have a pronoun in their signature. We know they are saying no more public education. We know they're going to ban books. And we know they said they're going to go further than they already have in our extreme abortion ban. Folks, that's extremism. That's extremism. I refuse to let chaos and fear guide us and lead us for the next 4 to 8 years. Everyone here, this is our commitment, not just to us, but all the generations coming behind us. Someone did it for us. We have to do it for our kids and for those behind them. They deserve that. Three days. I'm going to work tirelessly. I'm asking you to come along for the ride because we cannot forget this historical moment. We also know we cannot forget because, again, when we fight, when we vote, when we stand up, when we show up, let's go. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Thank you all for coming. Let's go. Go knock those doors and make those calls. Let's get this done.